Hello everybody, welcome to another quick video. Now today you find us on the shores of Coniston Water in the Lake District, and as you can see it's nice and still, it's very pretty. But what I'm actually here for is I'm going to try my new lens, which is the Olympus omsystem 7-14 f2.8 Pro. Main reason, I wanted sort of wide angle. I've already got the Leica 9mm, but I wanted a little bit of versatility, so I get a little bit of zoom on it. Still wanted it to be weather sealed, and ideally, sort of a nice sort of lightweight setup. And this is a bit heavier, but not too bad. So, going to have a bit of a play. There's some nice scenes behind us. Hopefully, some of these little trees in the foreground, a little silhouetted, because the light's not really there. There's a little bit of glow from the sky, but that's about it. So I'm thinking almost treat it almost like a blue hour effect, and we'll see what sort of things we can get. So let's have a quick wander around, and I'll tell you what I think of the lens. So the first thing I discovered is this branch actually in the water. Now, because it's still around it, I'm just going to use that as a bit of a foreground, because obviously being nice and wide, it gives you the option to play with that foreground. The sun's just trying to break through a little bit over there, so lots of silhouetting going on. So quite an ethereal scene, I think. And hopefully this will come off, but I'll pop a shot up now for you. So the lens itself, as you can see on the front element, it's got a bit of a fisheye to it. However, it's corrected well in camera, so you don't really get any sort of the nasty effects that you tend to get with a fisheye lens. Generally, it is quite wide, that 7mm, which is obviously a 14mm to 28 equivalent on the lens spec itself, if you're talking full frame terms. What I did find when I was messing around with it, sort of pointing down a bit, I've got to be careful where I'm putting my feet, because I've actually sort of get a shot with my feet in there, which didn't really work very well. But yeah, I think for this sort of scene, I think it works quite well. It'll also work quite well, I think, in street side of things, just to accentuate like looking up at buildings and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a chance I'll get a bit of that done as well while we're out and about. The actual physical sort of use of the lens, it's got on the side there the lens function button, as most of the Pro lenses have. Not got inbuilt sync, but at this sort of width, normally you shouldn't really need to worry about that too much. I will try some longer exposures with it and see what happens as far as that goes. So we're actually out on a trip at the moment, sort of around the Lake District area in Yorkshire and that sort of area. So yeah, a few images today will be taken as we're going around, rather than just here at Coniston. But as we're sort of just wandering around now, I think most of today's work will be just looking at sort of what's on this side of the lake, which it is pretty. It'd be nice to actually get to a jetty or something, but looking at it, it's all sort of getting slightly busy over there now, so I don't think we'll get a chance for that. There's a little gull that's sat in the water there. It might work as a little bit of a feature, and with that tree in as well, I think that could make a nice scene. Yes, a lot of stuff's going to be very samey from this little bit, but frankly, it's that nice, I don't really care. So go get a few more shots in, get a bit more wander and see what sort of things crop around. So we've essentially come as far as we can just around this section of the shores of Coniston. So we'll head back up towards the jetties, have a look, see what's sort of going on. Once I've looking, might be able to get something looking down. I think it'll work quite well, because you've got hopefully a nice bit of sort of, probably the best, sort of bloom light, because the sun's behind the clouds, but it's just blooming through. That should be able to sort of throw something, almost sort of a semi-silhouette effect from it. We'll see what happens. Have a bit of a play. Settings wise, I'm just messing around at the minute. I've been up to like f2.8, right the way down to f11, just trying to bring everything into play. Just experimenting with it. Look, it's the first time out with the lens, just gotta see what it does. But I think with what I'm finding so far, yeah, it works well as a nice wide angle landscape lens. There's a chance this will work brilliantly for astro as well, because it's quite fast, and obviously you've got the added bonus with this being a pro lens. If it's out in freezing cold conditions, it's not going to struggle very much at all. So yeah, it's ideal because these things are built like tanks. So obviously being wide angle, you do need to think about your scene a little bit more as well. It makes foreground a little bit more important. You've got to sort of try and balance the scene a little bit more, unless you're doing sort of a mad wide open, because that, yeah, it does work. You can get quite a nice scene, and it gives you quite the range as well, because obviously a normal lens, yeah, even on sort of the 12mm, it's fairly wide, but this is going extra wide, so the amount of actual frame that you can fill is quite incredible. I'm finding as well, usability, it's a lot lighter than the 12-100, obviously because it's a smaller lens, but the handling of it feels great. You know, it feels good in the hand. It's not just like a little tiny lens. It feels well balanced on the camera. As far as the usability for the zoom, it's kind of internal, if that makes sense. I'll actually put a little sort of clip up now to show that's me actually sort of zooming in and out. So you can actually see where the lens actually is an external type of zoom, but it stays internal to the lens hood, which is completely fixed as well. You can't remove the lens hood. It does come with its own special lens cap. Does make putting filters on a bit of a problem, but yeah, if you're using this, there are ways and means to actually get around it. I think Nissi do an adapter for this lens, so yeah, there are ways around it. But we're getting up to the jetties now, where the boats are, so might try and bring something in, a bit of a composition from those, and get that lovely sort of bloomy sky behind and get some shots in. So a few nice little shots, nothing spectacular, but great to actually have a play with the lens, have a bit of a mess around with the zoom size. Certainly sort of shooting the small boats over there, that was handy to actually just get a bit of zoom, pull it in a little bit, but you don't lose that nice wind angle effect. It's definitely something I'll probably sort of keep in the bag. A little bit heavier than the 9mm, but yeah, I might be able to make it work. But I think, yeah, generally, it's going to be a good bit of fun. I'm looking forward to actually getting this out in some real nice dark conditions, and if we ever get clear skies, get some stars. But we'll see what happens. But pop a few more shots up now. Like I say, I'll do some more shots as we're going around on this little trip that we're on. So you'll get maybe some street bits and little odds and sods, but very noisy ducking in the background. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give us a big thumbs up. I found it useful. Hit subscribe. We do this sort of thing every week. But from a very calm, a very, very pretty Coniston water, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Take care.